So previously on Outside the Box, I had recorded a video last week, and unfortunately, I am going to confess that I phoned it in. So I had Andy try to delete it, although I think he's hiding it somewhere on his computer to compare notes maybe with this week, because I told him I wanted to redo it because it just didn't meet the quality and the integral standards that I hold for myself for this video. So I have entitled this God is Written the Gospel in Nature. So me and Pastor Aaron before service last week, we were talking. And so if you remember last weekend, we got that fresh white snow on Saturday messing up all the nice warm weather we've been having, right? And I try to find the positive in life, and the positive is that it was a beautiful white blanket covering all the ugly underneath. And Aaron decides to and just like everything in life, if we look at it in the proper context, we can strain it through the Bible and come out with a message. Okay, so we got to discussing it. And he says, well, this blanket of snow, it's written all over the Bible, that Jesus washes our sins whiter than snow. And if you think about it, one of the things I remember hearing when I was growing up is, the end can't come until, everybody on the earth has heard the gospel. And the thing is, and people are like, well, how is it fair that people that, these indigenous tribes, they're out in the middle of nowhere that we don't know where they are and have no contact with the outside world. How are they going to know about Jesus? Well, God in his infinite wisdom has written the gospel into nature. To those that want to seek him out will find him because he's placed his fingerprints all over creation. Okay, and so with this white blanket of snow covering all the ugly, that's like Jesus saving us of our sins. He's washed us and made us white as snow, but underneath there is still all that ugly. There's still all the mud and the dead grass and all these things. And that is why it is important for us to renew our minds. Like when we look here in Romans 12:2, and do not conform yourself to this world, but transforming by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. And then the thing is as the snow melts, we go through a short period of time and everything does become new, doesn't it? We get the buds on the trees and then it turns into beautiful flowers and it grows into beauty. Just like us, if we give ourselves over to the Lord. Like I talked to, the previous couple of weeks about, the vine. If we allow the great creator and vine keeper to tend us and prune us and take care of us, we will grow fruit. So also throughout this conversation, we're also talking about the salt on the sidewalk, and as the snow melts away and the salt's left there to die and loses its saltiness, it seems to me, that Jesus talked about this. Okay, so we'll go to Matthew 5:13. And Jesus, it's red letters, so it's Jesus talking himself. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has become tasteless, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. And unfortunately, when good Christians lose their saltiness and decide that they have become good enough, and they reach that plateau and they're like, you know what? I'm good enough. I'm not going to grow no more. And they lose their saltiness. And they become, Jesus says they're worthless. The thing is that salt that's on that sidewalk that is now dead is going to kill the green grass that's next to the, trying to grow in the spring. and make a mud spot next to the sidewalk. And the thing is Christians that become dead do tend to affect other Christians. We're the body. So we need to keep each other encouraged and keep each other going. And so to bring this full circle again, we're going to go back to Romans 12 and this time read verse 1. Therefore, I urge you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And then we'll go back again and finish off Matthew 5:14 through 16. How you like that? Now we're having an adventure and walking through the Bible. All right, so you are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a bushel, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify not you, but the Father who is in heaven. And if I remember my Sunday school days well enough, I'm sure there's a song out there that you're singing in your head right now if you've been part of Christendom for any amount of time in your life. So be blessed and go out and be a blessing this week.